like drawn into her comment.
That's how most of our videos are, just me and Adrian looking at each other.
In the last video of the year, we talked about imposter syndrome. So I wanted to ask you guys, do either of you deal with that at times? And if so, how do you get out of that headspace?
Who do you want us to answer first?
Christine.
Unless Ahsaki had something.
No, I feel like she's formed her thought already. So.
Do you want me to ask again?
Yeah, go ahead and ask.
Well, I guess
Okay.
have you ever had imposter syndrome?
Let her answer on camera.
Honestly, I had to say no, because I believe that, yes, talking to these major retailers and talking to all these big old beauty editors and everything, sometimes they make you feel like you don't belong there, but then I'm always stepping in with my curly hair CLE on and walking in like I belong here.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's just that strength that you have to just have when you're treading waters that we haven't tread into.
Mm-hmm.
Well, dealing with others, that's another thing, the rise of the pretendians, taking up way too much space, but we have that too, but it's just like, it's just being authentic, our authentic selves, more and more, and, like our conversation earlier when we came in, talking about our childhood and our upbringing, and knowing that, that makes us who we are.
Mm-hmm.
And when we're building businesses like this, you can feel it authentically.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it doesn't take away, you can never be too much native or less native and all that in spaces that we are creating. Because as long as you know who you are and being inside this very commercialized industry and just standing on your own your 10 toes and standing firm, like this is who I am, these are my backgrounds, this is what I'm doing forward.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just having that mindset. It's just like, it's hard, it's a lot of practice, but it can be done.
I agree. It takes a lot of practice.
Have you ever had imposter syndrome?
I actually had to think about that. My experience is I'm like a hustler, and I tend to, any feeling I may have about something, I tend to bulldoze through it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that's not a good thing. I do have to take more time for myself, and that's actually one of my goals for this year, is to really balance out my schedule and my life a little bit better for myself. But for me, I always, when I feel uncomfortable about a situation, I always start with noticing my own reaction to things. So I always tell myself, I notice that I'm feeling a little nervous, or I notice that I'm feeling a little bit of anxiety. Once I say that, I feel like it's just, it doesn't define me as a person.
Yeah.
It's just me acknowledging that that's how I feel, and it doesn't define who I am as a, just like I said, a person. And I tend to, it helps me minimize how I feel, so that I can keep moving forward.
Yeah.
And most of the time I don't take time to think about it again, because I am happy about how the day turned out and everything turned out fine, but I don't live in that space.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tend to pass through it very quickly. And I think that's taken practice by being a business owner, has helped me just kind of, visit it really quick, don't give it any time, and keep moving forward to what I'm trying to do with my business. Yeah.
Yeah. That resonates with me big time. I'm kind of the same, a little similar. I do bulldoze through emotion. You know what I mean? I don't allow myself the luxury, I guess, to just be that emotional, but also that negative toward myself. I don't know if that's a luxury or not, or if it's bad, but I just don't even let it bother me. I do kind of bulldoze through things because I feel like I'm very mission-based.
Right.
I got to get this done. And I think some people have the luxury of sitting with their emotions and reflecting. And what I've learned to do is utilize this, the Dene traditional learning wheel, where you start your thinking, you start the ideation phase, right? And then you move into a planning phase, action phase, and then a reflection phase. And that's something I've really honed in on, is like taking time to reflect and taking time to also rest and recuperate,
Right.
you know, because, and that's when I start to think about it. And if I ever do get that feeling of like, I don't belong here, or like, one time I literally heard a voice say, "Who do you think you are?" And I was just like, pop, pop, pop. It's like, no. And it was weird because that's never happened to me before. But it was when I was taking a big step professionally, when that voice came in my head. It was like, "Who do you think you are?" And I'm just like, I am the child of the holy people. That's who I am. I am meant to be here, I am good medicine in human form, and I'm going to make these choices, not just for myself, but for all of this behind me, for posterity, right? I have children, I'm a mother, so I make decisions based on that. And I try not to let that negativity eat at me,
Right.
But I do know that imposter syndrome is real, and we did have a whole conversation about it in our last video. But thank you guys for answering that.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you guys for being so candid and honest about that.
Well, I think everyone kind of has some level of that in their lives. I mean, you wouldn't be human if you didn't.
Yeah.
However, I think everyone has to learn how to manage it. It's important to understand it, to manage it, to educate yourself, and to possibly get help for it if you do feel like it's overwhelming your life. But for me, I just feel like it's also something that I'm looking forward to dealing with this year. Taking time for myself this year. I've bull-nosed for a couple of years now, and I'm now realizing that I need to kind of take a step back and reevaluate and try to make a little bit more time this year for myself, which, which I'm looking forward to next year and see where I'm at, the progress.
Yeah, and that's so important too, They always say, like, you can't take care of other people unless you take care of yourself first. And in the industry that you guys are in, you have to care for other people.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's good. I'm really happy for you.
Yeah.
And I love your answer. No. I belong here. I love that.
But it's tough because, again, we're in the beauty industry where it's very commercialized. And, when they see a Native person, just any part of it, they want to capitalize on it. And it's being able to, like, stand firm, like, no, my people is not something that you guys can just continue to make money off or to parade around, or we're not going to perform for you. And, it's hard sometimes to actually have to step back and be like, I want to work with these people. And if it's going to, even though that moment could take my business to that next level, and being able to, like, look at that money and be like, no, it's not worth it, because I don't want to be a sellout. I'm not here to create businesses that's going to harm my people. I'm building businesses to help my people, create resources, to create opportunity, and there's no dollar sign on that. So just being, again, mindful, like, why you're doing what you're doing, and making sure when corporate claws are like about to grab you, like literally, you're literally like a little fish, like, ah, and it's like, it's scary because you're in rooms like with the biggest leaders in the industry, and they see your business and they see how powerful it is, and then they try to use this big shark theory and be like, I'm gonna chomp on her. They're like, nope, you can't. I'm sorry. I have all the in around me. Not if you want, but it's just being able to look at it in its eye, recognize it, accept it sometimes, and just stand firm. And be like, you know what? We belong here. We've always been here. Like, what the heck? Put respect on my name.
I think for me, imposter syndrome showed up when, like, a fellow business owner, she's down in Phoenix, she reached out to me. She's like, hey, I'm helping create this PR talk for, like, the PR museum in New York. It's like a really big thing. He's like, I want you to be a speaker on it. I'm like, why me? I know other people you can talk. Why you want me to talk on it? She's like, I like what you do. I like what you do in your community. And I'm like, okay, I guess. Like, because you guys are all saying you don't like talking in front of the cameras and everything. Like, neither do I. It's like, it's a big struggle to also come up here. That's why I let Adrienne just ramble on and on and on.
She asked the provocative question. Where you go?
I asked, like, key point questions and just let Adrian ramble. But yeah, so it's like it's hard to like recognize some of the good things you do and like the accomplishments you made, and just being able. For me, it's really hard to accept compliments. It's like, oh, you look pretty. It's like, okay.
Whoa, we need to do more updos.
Yeah, so like it's hard for me to accept compliments when people are saying, "Oh, you're doing so good. You're really good at filmmaking and all this other stuff." I'm like, "Am I though? I feel like you're just telling me what I want to hear." So that's like how I feel like imposter syndrome, and like for me, it turns out to like being unable to accept compliments. But then like you guys said, like being able to sit down and reflect. I'm like, yeah, I did a lot of good things last year. I did accomplish a lot. I'm gonna have a cookie.
I love that. I love that.
Can you share with us any unique experiences you guys had as a business owner?
Oh, I would definitely. I'm gonna hop on this one. So back in 2020, I was part of the cohort for Beauty United, and that's a meeting I just hopped off of before I came here. And what that was, it's a nonprofit that unites, the biggest beauty industry leaders, all these brands, and like, upcoming brands. And I was able to be paired up with an amazing mentor. Her name is Jane Hudas. She's the Estee Lauder group president.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, to be able to just have moments with her, pick her brain, and like, get that validation that this little fishy me is doing good. It's because like, I guess when we're business owners, we work so much, we don't see what we do. So it was like, oh wow, the biggest shark says I'm doing okay. And being able to, because when we build our businesses, I wish we had, like, if I had a Rihanna, like I just call Rihanna, hey Ree, am I doing okay? Like, how did I get into Ulta? Like, who did you talk to? Like, I wish I could do something like that. Or call up, have a grab, like, hey girl, hey, it's your native sister over here in Arizona. Teach me how you do that highlight right quick and the eyeshadow look. Like, thank you, appreciate it. You really help. But like, it's so lonely sometimes. Mm-hmm. So being able to be in this cohort and now seeing it grow, and now there's like a fellowship and all the awesome things that's coming about, just giving more hope for the new brands coming up in the next generation of the beauty industry, and like how it's changing is not just everything's more diverse, everything's more inclusive, and all these things like as it should be. But then again, it's that push for culture, and I feel like they're finally opening up that gate. So it's like, okay, your girl's here, come on, I'll bring it. But no, that's my favorite part.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Good. Confetti. That's really cool.
So how about you, Christine?
You said something about unique experiences. Is that where we're going?
Yeah, so if you could share any unique experiences that you've had as a business owner.
Well, I have a lot of stories about unique experiences with clients, so that is an eye-opener. I don't know if I want to bring that up though. Some of these brides are a little much, but it's all good in the end. I don't want to say anything negative.
Well, we do have 3 little talking points. Maybe you can link onto one of those. So one of them is unique experiences related to maybe having a Native woman experience or authenticity and voice. The other is ownership of your own, ownership of how people perceive you.
Ownership of
or your
how
company.
people perceive. Mm-hmm. I have no idea. I've been scared to explore that area, to be honest. I just stay in my little corner, like I've said, and I try really hard to do a good job within that. And I think I am doing a good job, just because a lot of people give me so much praise and so much confidence in what I do, and I love that. It just makes me realize that I am doing the right steps for myself as well as the people that come in here and I serve. Makes me really happy. I guess that's it. Add any more?
No, that's good. Thank you. Okay, so the next question is, are there any additional ventures that you're pursuing? So, I don't know which of you want to tackle that first, but I mean, I could share with our audience that you guys are both expanding your businesses. So Christine's business was primarily based here in Northern Arizona, and now she's expanding outward to the entirety of the state. She just launched a new website where you can look at those services, pick and choose from a menu. And so that's really exciting. And then Ahsaki, beyond Ah-Shi Beauty, she has a coffee company which makes incredible coffees and teas. She also is going into music, so entering into the music industry.
Wow,
And
that's
she's
exciting.
opening up a new space in Houston.
Yes.
Yeah, so maybe you guys can talk a little bit about that because I think that's super exciting. I'm super thrilled about it.
I know, my mom's like, she sees me walking down the stairs, she's like, with the laptop in hand, what'd you do? What new business did you create? And then my sister Lamel was like, oh man, another business to the list of businesses you already have. But yes, the reason why we added coffee is because really it pushed me to be creative in my space when I had the location in Window Rock, because I was forced to shut down because it was not essential. And I love coffee. Any business I have, I'm in love with it. So it's just like a guilty pleasure. And I was like, you shouldn't be like drinking your own supply, but I do. I'm addicted to my own supply. Like, it's horrible. But
Don't get high.
like, exactly, that's me right there. I'm like, oh my god. I was like, I have to sell this. I'm like, no. But no, the coffee industry is just amazing. And doing that, like even in Window Rock, like just opening up one shop and then seeing how it spirals into more coffee businesses open. It's just awesome to see. And then, yes, we're in the music industry. It's like my new baby. Super excited about that because I get to really push the narrative of brown and black country. And, being a trailblazer, yes, in the beauty industry and all that fun stuff, but being able to push the narrative and push those buttons. So I'm a button pusher, okay? And in the industry, I'm gonna push those buttons and push our people forward and control the narrative. But what I love about the music industry is that the industry, especially country, they forget the voices and our listeners as Native people or even the black community, especially in country music. They forget that we're cowboys. We live this Western lifestyle. And no, I'm not the singer. Okay, I guess I remix almost every single Beyonce song. It is the Renaissance. Like, already have some remixes coming. Y'all stay tuned. But no, I'm a manager and I have a publishing company. And we're moving very, very fast, like everything else I do. But my main goal is truly create space for us in the industry of music, because it's just so crazy growing up with music in my life and seeing my grandpa, my old Che, dance and sing along to Johnny Horton, One Woman Man with my grandma, and then, him teaching me how to do the twist, the James Brown, and he he does all that, and the Little Richard he pretends he's playing the piano. It's just like how music travels from way over there onto our reservations, and they think that we don't know anything. So, but actually being in this space in the music industry is a huge blessing and really fell in my lap, because this was another industry I didn't think I was going to go into, but taking it by force and, protecting and molding my artists moving forward. So y'all see me on CMT, CMAs, y'all already know. The Beyonce of the country music world, but not singing. I'm just going to come through with the outfits.
She's gonna be one of the people thanked by the artist.
That part. Mrs. Losat, Mrs. A, whatever you want to call me, y'all already know. I'll be ready with the camera pose. I'm ready. Which camera? A, B, C? Okay. I don't think they want to give me the mic up there. They'll be like, ran back. Beep. And just know I said that. They're not ready for me. I can't wait though.
It's really interesting you're in the music industry because Uriah, my younger brother, he's definitely into the DIY scene of the music industry, especially here in Flagstaff. He records and writes and mixes his own music on his computer. Yeah, that's one of the things we do with High Accents. He composes and does.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he just came out with an album in November.
Oh wow, definitely I got my foot in the door BMI, so and BMI's kind of big and controls all the music, every genre. We gonna talk. I got you.
We should talk too, because Michael's also,
Because her husband's also
yeah,
a
he's also
musician.
into music. He's been making music for a number of years, and he launched two albums during the pandemic, and he's working on another one. And they're all different genres. Like they're kind of weird, but but it's like fun for him. Something he loves to do, and now he has like a little Spotify following. I think he's made like a nickel last year.
Everything counts. Everything counts.
But I think that's cool though, because that's a great service, right? That's needed, that's important, and you're right, visibility is so important. And so I love that. That's exciting.
And I'm dropping my album.
We in the hair shop.
Exactly.
She's on her rap album.
Right.
Touch
Mixtape.
my weed.
It's a metal album.
I'm like, what? Where did this come from?
See this long hair? It's like looking around.
Do not underestimate Native businesswomen, okay? We're everywhere.
I'm a wild. Ew. Just kidding. Okay, so Christine, are there any new ventures that you're pursuing?
Yeah, I just opened up a management company, and mainly because I want to take advantage of all the tax strategies. That's my main reason. But I added on my husband, which I wasn't too sure about adding him on, but I did. And I added on my kids too, which is good, and all my employees, so that's good. And then I added also Arizona Glam Squad. We just opened up that website. That's built for the Phoenix area, so we're going to do on-location hair and makeup services for Tucson and Phoenix and that general area as well. So we are promoting for new hair and makeup artists for that area, and I'll be training all of them. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And to be trained by Christine is not only an honor, but it's thorough. I've seen you train your employees, and you're like racking the whip.
Yeah, I'm a perfectionist for sure.
Yeah.
And I expect, I always think of it in the sense that I'm servicing my grandmother, I'm servicing my mother, I'm servicing my sister. I would never let my sister go out of the house to a special event that's important to her without fixing something on her if she doesn't have it quite right. So
Yeah.
I feel the same, I take the same approach with my clients. My first year of business, I remember I tried to be I was like the Aveda girl, which is my initial background. So I was trying to come into my own space and try to, from what I knew about the salon industry, I was just trying to mimic that. But I realized I cannot do that. I had small children then. I could not get all decked out, wear heels to work every day, which I did for the first year. And I finally went one day when everything was going south. My feet were killing me, and I was at the grocery store. The kids were crying, and I said, "Forget it. I'm taking off these heels, and I've got to come up with a new game plan. What do I know best, which is being a stay-at-home mom." So I approach when I'm doing your hair, when I'm doing your makeup, whatever I'm doing in the salon, I approach it like I would if I'm cooking dinner. So I'm talking to my girlfriends, having a glass of wine, laughing, but still cooking that meal. Same thing with hair and makeup.
Yeah.
And I think that's why people are attracted to me, because not only am I educated in what I know how to do, I take the time to be educated. I also make an impression because I want to get to know these clients that are walking in here, and I want to get to know the bride. I'm just excited for them that they're getting married. This managing and planning a wedding takes a lot of energy, especially from out of state.
Yeah.
So I try to be their girlfriend from out of state. So it's worked for me, and no, there's no reason to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I should clarify too when I said cracking the whip. It's you. She's like, no, I mean, she's not, I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean that,
I know what you mean.
you're very you show them precisely how it should be done.
Right. I take my job very seriously, and I expect anybody that works for me to take it very seriously. I tell all the girls that once they come in here, I know it's intimidating when they first come in and meet me, but once I train them and they learn how to do everything right, then things get lax. I mean, I just took all my employees to Disneyland for Christmas, so yeah, we get to do a lot of fun stuff. So it's worth me when I see hard work and I see people taking the time to do the things that I ask them to do and be responsible and care mainly about the employees. I always tell them you have to put yourself in their shoes. You're coming in and paying for a very expensive service.
Yeah.
You have to remember when they walk out the door, they have to feel that the service is worth paying for.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's so expensive nowadays that you have to be considerate of other people. It's easy to just give them a number and let them walk out the door. I like to give them a relaxing experience when they're here
Yeah.
and also have a good time at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a high standard girl.
Yes, I love that. I love the high standards. Okay, so the last question for this section is, what do you want the Native community to know about you and your work? And we have 3 little bullet points here that you could touch on. So one of them is work ethic. The other is high standards. The third is customer loyalty. So I think you've kind of touched on these a little bit, but if you want to elaborate a little more, you're welcome to. So,
I think I already said something about the high standard.
yeah, so.
Definitely.
What was the first question again?
What do you want the Native community to know about you and your work?
Well, I think both of us are very hard workers. Yeah, we're very passionate, and I think passion is key to what we do because it keeps us driving forward. And also, like you said, having a vision for your business, you have to have that. Those go hand in hand. You can't move forward without knowing why you're doing it. And also you have to have a genuine interest in other people besides yourself. You know, even though it benefits us in our business, but it really, you were talking about something earlier about customer service. You hit it right on the head. We are lacking that in this society, and people want to go back to simplicities. People want to go back to people who are authentic, and I feel like we actually need it in this country. We do. I see a lot of people stressed out about situations that they don't need to be in because they're trying to keep up with the Joneses. And really they just need to center themselves and go back to what's best for them. It may not be the same for everybody, you know, but I think that, yeah, that's it, I guess.
I'm gonna add on to yours, like, those are spot on. And especially the part of keeping up with the Joneses, because social media has such a strong, like, grip on everybody, from the youth to, you know, our generation and beyond. And, like, everybody's just always trying to, to be seen. And, like, I am a brand, I've created a brand that it is so realistic that, you know, like you said, you like to stay in your corner, I like to stay in my lane. Because, you know, I'm not a professional makeup artist, you know, I do, like, you know, soft glam, you know, I can do that. But also, you know, giving my viewers, you know, my supporters, that it's okay, you can go full glam, you can wear no makeup, or you can be in between. And also, you know, being able to take off that filter doing that makeup video. Like, I'm like, because with my health background, like with the whole ovarian cancer and chemo and all that stuff, you know, my skin changed. So being able to, like, be in front of a camera with my skin texture and my hormones still, like, balancing back out again, and, you know, being able to show, like, my true authentic self too, showing them that you can accept your flaws and that you can just accept it. You know, embrace it. And, you know, yes, we break out. We as women, we have hormone issues. Like, we can literally eat a chocolate and break out. Or, you know,
Or get fat.
exactly. You know, like, things just, like, the weather, the climate, everything, like, affects our whole body. So, and then social media has this big presence of, we have to look perfect all the time, and it's stressful. And, you know, people are just going out their way, spending all this money when it's unnecessary. And it's just, for me, it's just being able to, you know, show both sides at the same time, but also just be real. Like, just be real, be your authentic self, work hard, because nothing comes easy. This beautiful, you know, salon here, I know it took tons of years and, you know, a lot of work. So even to get this to this stage and expanding, you know, I'm not to say it, like it's not easy. Like get ready to work and work really hard and build with people that have that same mentality, because you can't build this and then have people that work so-so. That's not gonna work.
That's true.
That's not gonna work. Like
That's
this.
one of the things
Bye.
I've had to learn about having employees.
Mm-hmm.
Not only having to deal with everyone's different personalities, but also realizing that you need to know when somebody is not the right fit, and having that polite conversation with them and seeing where they want to go, and then maybe this isn't the best fit for them,
Mm-hmm.
and wishing them well on their journey.
Yeah. Yeah, boss babe conversations that I personally don't like having either, but we have to. And be prepared for that, you know, because.
And you're not always going to be liked either. That's the one thing I've learned through this experience. We all at some point want to be all liked, but you're not always going to be liked. You're not going to make every customer happy. You try, but I feel like you can't beat yourself up over those items. You have to really think about what happened and try to do better next time. And yeah.
Yeah, I can control logistics, guys. I can't control U.S. Postal, FedEx, UPS, we did our job, we put the label on there, we dropped it off, so in between the drop off and getting to you, I can't control that. Like until I get
control
I
the
can't.
supply
I
chain.
can't. But until I can get there and have my own cars, my own trucks, to like
Drive it
to your house like an Amazon model, like that. Yeah, you can come at me, but I can't. There's not so much me about my family can do. So be nice to your small business, because we're up against a lot, especially on the res. Like that's a whole different issue. Yo, next tea time. Oh my god, that's too funny.
It's too funny.
I think we can end that segment now. I guess the last thing I'm gonna say is like buy native, buy local, support your local small businesses. And I think just taking into consideration everything that you guys have said, your pearls of wisdom, your encouragement, your strategies, your solutions, all of that, can be applied not just to starting your own business. I think these are values, right? They can be taught and learned, and they can be applied to an array of things, whether it's school, family, or any kind of endeavor that you want to take on. So thank you guys for sharing that.
Sure.
So yeah.
This was fun. Thank you.
I posted this morning that we're going to be interviewing 2 business owners. I didn't say what businesses it was, so it's got a couple of replies. One asked what business you do. We kind of went into that in detail. And then someone asked like the highs and lows of a business and a native business owner, like any struggles.
I'll take that one. I guess when we are going into business, like especially now, and everyone before us that's in business, we're going into it, any industry, with eyes on us, like, what are they doing? Can they do this? There's already that extra pressure of like expectations, like, can we even run a successful business? And I feel like it's just like on us, like we have that feeling, that pressure, like, is this even gonna last? And I'm so glad that now we're getting past that, and we're seeing so many amazing businesses, come about thanks to Change Labs. Shout out Change Labs and everyone there, because they are giving our people that chance and that support to grow, to turn that dream, that vision into reality, and to truly strengthen our Navajo economy and Native Nation economy that goes beyond just our 4 sacred mountains. So it's so good to see that the struggles, oh my god, like there's really tons on and off res, and you just have to like navigate through those struggles. So on Navajo, we always heard this, it's like a broken record. Building anything on Navajo is gonna be hard. Just the procurement, just to even register your business, just to do anything, just to even go to the post office to ship out your orders, and dealing with, sketchy Wi-Fi and your phone service, and all these things are just the basic necessities you need to run a business on Navajo is like 10 times harder. So don't give up. You can make it happen. Like if I'm able to still talk to my team from California, here in Arizona, Mountain Standard Time, Central, Eastern, in Germany. Like if I can still talk to my team from the res with my limited resources, it can be done. And I always like to tell, especially Navajo entrepreneurs, that do not underestimate your ability to turn your dreams into reality. You don't underestimate yourself at all, that you can do it, and don't let no reservation lines and our limited resources stop you from building that business. And that you have support, you have us, you have Change Labs that's there literally 24/7. They're always online. just hit them up in their DMs, or contact them. That's what they're here for. And I can't wait to be this mega company where I can just throw money in there. Go! How do you help our people? Because that's so much I can do. Go! You get a chitty, you get a business. And then Oprah status. But, it's just, struggles are always going to be there. It's life. And unfortunately, we get it a little bit more on the res, but it's the same off to building out here. So you can't run from it.
I think to add to that, I would just like to say that I think it's also helpful to help yourself in a sense that you need to don't wait for somebody else to teach you everything. Just start. Start with just the idea, writing it down. Be proactive with it every day. If you're really passionate about it, and I only say this from experience when I talk to people who say they want to start a business, I always look to see what action they're taking to be proactive for themselves. And you're not supposed to have it all figured out to start. You should just start. And if you need to have some encouragement along the way, you need somebody to talk to, find somebody who can be a mentor to you to help you along that journey. But I also think there's so much availability, like audiobooks and podcasts that are available about business. You may not understand everything they're saying to you, but start listening. Pretty soon it's going to start making a lot of sense. Also, start listening to podcasts about mental health as well, because a lot of times we get stuck in our head and it's just taking away energy from where you need to be focusing your energy. So I think it's important to recognize that, we're only human, but just keep going forward, keep taking action, keep believing in yourself, and keep saying, keep going, I'm gonna keep going, I'm gonna keep going. You're not gonna have it all figured out, but one day you're gonna do something that's gonna be shocking to you, and you're gonna be like, wow, I did that. I can do this, and just keep going forward.
Yes.
Mic drop.
Wait, do the clap.
She just smashed it into his face. Yeah.
Not a very Navajo friendly. It's like a weird label you're putting on yourself.
They protect us, they guide us. And my father, he worked in law enforcement, so he was.
You witnessed police pulling over cars.
If you got to slap a senator, you slap a senator.
Incorporating language and cultural aspects into. Who's your celebrity crush?
Pass.
It's that point where you're just like, what am I